According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 8 people in the world live with a mental disorder. And today, a global event aims to promote, educate, and raise awareness of mental health issues.
And joining us to recognize World Mental Health Day and provide some tips is Pandit Dasa. He is a mindfulness expert, former monk, and author of the book Closing the Apps: How to Be Mindful at Work and at Home. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, good to see you again. Okay, so let's talk about this. You know, we often say, and people say, that sometimes there's shame around mental health. So we're going to try to fix that a little bit this morning. How can a person recognize if they're experiencing symptoms of depression or maybe anxiety?
Yeah, first thing I just want to touch on what you just said. There really is no reason for us to be embarrassed about if we're struggling with our mental health. We're not embarrassed to go to a dentist or a doctor when we're having a toothache or any other bodily ailment. Taking care of our mind is equally as important, if not more so. So there really is no reason for us to be embarrassed about it. In terms of some of the symptoms, there's quite a few things that we can recognize. Of course, we're all going to go through ups and downs in our moods and emotions. That's just what it means to be human. But if we're feeling prolonged levels of guilt or worthlessness or helplessness, prolonged meaning it goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks and it's not coming to an end, or maybe we're feeling just pessimistic or hopeless, maybe now we're just having trouble concentrating, major shifts in the way we do things. For example, maybe you're very hungry, like a loss of appetite, and now you're overeating, or maybe even worse, if you're having thoughts of like, well, it's not worth living anymore. These types of symptoms are things to be, something to be aware of, knowing that, okay, now it's time possibly to get some help.
All right, so what can a person do to treat their depression or anxiety?
Well, one of the first things to do is reach out to a medical professional, your primary care physician, a mental health professional. Really have a conversation, because they're the best ones who can guide us in the next steps. And some things that we can do in our daily life. One very important thing is to not really isolate yourself. It's important to surround ourselves with people that care for us, having positive relationships, not just at home, but also in the workplace. Having positive relationships can really uplift our mood, make us feel secure, make us feel supported. Meditation is an incredibly powerful tool, taking those deep breaths in throughout the day to really just feel grateful for some of the positive things that are happening in our life. Because, when we go through depression or anxiety, we tend to focus on the negative, but gratitude can help uplift us. Making sure we're getting a good night's sleep, where we're not just stuck to our social media at 11 o'clock at night while we're laying in bed. Getting a good, healthy night's sleep. Making sure we're eating a healthy diet. Food affects the body and the mind. And also finding a greater purpose in life, like serving others, finding some service that we can do for others in our communities.
And then, Pandit, what if we know someone who's struggling with their mental health that sometimes you don't exactly know what to say?
Well, some of the things that we shouldn't say, right? Because it's a very sensitive time in their life and a very sensitive topic. We don't want to say anything that's dismissive of their situation, like, oh, it's all in your head. Just get over it and be positive. Just snap out of it. Oh, so many other people have it so much worse than you, right? These are all items that'll actually make the situation even worse because we've just dismissed it. But other things to do is, ask them, what can I do to help? Right? I'm here for you. Let them know they're not in this alone. Really just verbalize, you're not in it alone. I'm here for you. And really say that without judgment, right? Say like, I know that this must be hard for you. What can I do to assist you in this particular situation? These are some of the things to encourage, support, let them know that you're there for them and you're not going to judge them.
Well, as you said, being dismissive is certainly not the right thing to do, but also taking action, it can get a little sticky.
Yeah, in terms of taking action, when somebody is going through severe levels of anxiety or depression, sometimes daily tasks can even become challenging, like cooking or cleaning or going to the grocery store. Offering practical help with these daily tasks, that can make a huge difference. That lets them know that it wasn't just lip service, that you're really willing to be there for them. And of course, remember that we can't force anyone to get help. They have to be willing to get that help. And if they're having difficulty just reaching out to a professional, ask them, hey, can we reach out to that professional together? Do it with them. If needed, maybe take them to the appointment, go with them. These are all things that we can do to really support a person who's going through these challenges, and they will appreciate that so deeply. Just having that support and security, knowing that there's people around them that care for them.
Thank you so much for being here and giving us those helpful tips today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Pandit Dasa's book, Closing the Apps, How to Be Mindful at Work and at Home, is available wherever books are sold and on his website, Pandit Dasa, and you can if you are experiencing a mental health crisis, you can call or text the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988.